I don't know how people do it without, bro. Some
No, that's a fact, Ron. I think we're live. Hold on, wait for it to come through. All right, we're good, Ron.
Cool. Yo, if we live, you guys go ahead and drop some comments in the comment section. Talk to us. If y'all ask a good question, we might just answer you. Man, so how we doing today? How's everybody feeling?
I'm chilling.
straight.
Okay. Last time you guys linked up, some crazy things happened.
Of course, it's about, bro, telling the truth.
They try to penalize you for telling the truth sometimes, but the truth got to be told, right?
I mean, my truth might be different than your truth, but it's just my truth. You know what I mean? That don't make it right for everybody, right?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Jay Will,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people want you to kind of address that situation, and we can do it now, we can do it later, we can do it next week, next month, whenever you feel like it.
You talking about the Kobe situation?
Yeah, the Kobe situation. That was taken out of context for sure.
For sure, but you know, I mean, like I said, I'm not changing my stance on none of that. What I said, but I think a lot of people took it wrong, obviously, and was thinking that I thought bad. You know, was thinking trying to say anything bad about Kobe, and that's the furthest from the truth, man. That's one of the best basketball players ever to walk the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying? But that don't change my mind on who I think the top 5 best players to play for the Lakers. You know, so and I totally get.
I can't find this client info.
But you know, people love Kobe, and as they should out in LA and all over the world. And like I said, man, Kobe was a bad boy, but it is what it is.
Dude,
Yeah, no
why
doubt.
I'm getting why I'm getting these vibes like you ready to do something wild, you ready to turn up.
Well, I mean, you know, with me, it's just, you know, you never know. That can happen at any moment with me, bro. But I'm just trying to keep it steady and smooth, you know, just try to keep it tight as I can. But, you know, if you ask me a question, I'm gonna give it to you like I feel. You know, I ain't gonna hold nothing back.
No sugarcoating, huh?
No, there's no need to. I mean, you know, it's just the way I feel.
Nah, most definitely. And Jay Will, I actually felt where you were going with it. When we talk about top 5 Lakers, keep in mind Kobe's in my top 5. But a lot of people don't factor in Wilt Chamberlain, obviously Shaq, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and then it's other fifth names that you could throw in there that were amazing and accomplished Lakers. These are storied players. So it's like, it's no knock to Kobe. It's more so just bigging up the Laker organization and their rich history.
Yeah, that's fair. And also, you know, a lot of people don't think that LeBron probably should be on that list because he hasn't been there long enough or hasn't really done what the Laker fans want him to do.
Yeah.
But the question was, it was people that wore the jersey for at least 1 year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Of course, LeBron's not a better Laker than Kobe Bryant. Like I said, Kobe Bryant is the Lakers, bro. When you think of the Lakers all over this world, man, the first player that comes to mind is Kobe Bryant. I don't care if you're a real true fan of basketball, and if it's somebody else that comes to mind, then I don't know. You just hating on Kobe, I guess, because I mean, come on, man.
Jay Will, I got a quick question though. Did Shaq, not me, did the other Shaq give you any flack for that, or did he just let that one go?
No, he didn't give me no flack for that because I mean, I think he knows that I'm just speaking my mind. I ain't, like you said earlier, sugarcoating it for nobody. That's just the way I feel, and the way I feel doesn't make it right to everybody. You know, I understand I've been wrong before, and just because you don't agree with my opinion, I might not necessarily agree with your opinion, and doesn't make mine right and yours wrong. It just is what it is. It's the way I feel. But Shaq, dude, and he'll never get me down the road for nothing.
The thing about Shaq is Shaq would have only got mad under one circumstance. If you would have left him out of the top 5.
Yeah.
Then he would have been like, Jay Will, all right, come on, we got some things we gotta hash out.
How can you leave him out of any top 5? I mean, he's the most dominant player to ever put on a uniform, bro.
And I agree.
So Shaq's the best big man.
The most dominant big man ever to me is Shaquille O'Neal. If I'm starting a team and I get the first pick and I got to pick a center first, I'm picking Shaq. I don't care if he can shoot threes or not. I don't need that because y'all gonna be in foul trouble.
That's a fact. That's a
So,
fact. Hey,
so
on
that
any given possession, Shaq has the opportunity to get 3. Whether he makes the third one, we don't know if he's gonna go to the line and make the free throw. But on any given possession,
That's right. And he might knock some teeth out on the way too with that, and you'll be out of the game for the rest of the night. So let's get it.
so Shaq versus Draymond, or Shaq versus those Golden State Warriors. That's gonna end nasty.
Man, I think that's gonna be tough for Shaq. That's gonna be tough for Shaq, man. I'm telling you. But I mean, Shaq's gonna have 4 other teammates too. I'd like to see that matchup. You know, Shaq's best team, whatever y'all think Shaq's best team was that he played on versus them Warriors, because them Warriors ain't no joke, man. I don't care who you're playing against. You could probably take 5 of the greatest players ever that didn't play for the Warriors, and the Warriors gonna give them boys a run for their money, just the way they play and the way they shoot, man. They play the game the right way. There's not too many teams that do that, and they got all this talent doing that too.
yeah. Nah, that's a game that a lot of people talk about, speculate about. Yo, if you're in the comment section, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and let us know who you think will win out of Shaq's early Laker teams. Whatever you think was the best team with Kobe and Shaq and the Warriors. Who would you take? But to kind of Jay Will, you know, like you really got a storied career, and you're really like one of those guys, you know. And so it's a bunch of different areas we can go to start the show with you. Like we can talk about, you know, 90s, 2000s. We can even go back to the 80s, all of that. But I think it's no better thing to do than to just start with what's going on right now. And then we'll fill in the blanks with everything else. So as of right now, you know, unless you guys have been living under a rock, we know the circus of a situation that's going on in Brooklyn. And so I just kind of want to talk to you a little bit about this, Jay Will, and see how you feel about this with just kind of the way that KD feels towards the organization. And is he in the wrong at all? Or does he have it, like, should he be a little more transparent, be handling things behind the scenes? Or is it like, I don't want to play here, I have my rights, and just get me out of here as soon as possible?
Man, that's a tough question. You know, like that dude's on another pedestal than I ever thought about being on, you know, as a player, and he's got more pull, more say, you know, so to speak, with organizations and things like that than I ever thought about having. But I don't know what's going on up there, man. It's something serious. But yeah, if I were his teammate or I was his homeboy, I would try to talk to him, you know, try to tell him to keep it behind the scenes, like let nobody know what's going on, things like that. But again, I don't know what's going on. Maybe that's the best way he thinks that this situation needs to be handled, is to do it the way he's doing it, and I ain't mad at that. But as a fan, bro, I wish them boys could just get it together and just run it out 1 year, bro, just to see how good they can be. Because me personally, I think they could be a really good team and do some big things. But like I said, I don't know what's going on there, and if they're not all committed together at the beginning, it's gonna be hard, bro, because they're too good, and their egos, they're too big of egos. You know what I mean? Not that that's a bad thing. They're just bad dudes, and they want to win, bro. So they got to do.
How do you feel about Ben Simmons?
You know, I don't know much. Like I said, I don't know much about Ben Simmons other than that he's a good player. I think he's perfect for KD and Kyrie. If they put all that BS aside and just went out and hooped, I think all that stuff will take care of itself, because I think they're gonna win a lot of games.
You think they'll come out the East?
That's a tough question. I mean, there's some good teams in the East, man. Just based on last year, I got to say no, just because they haven't played together and things like that. But if anybody could put it together quick, those 3 could, I think, because they're so good.
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to necessarily ask
I don't think they have any chance.
No?
It's too toxic over there. And Jay, well,
Yeah,
I don't
you
know if
might
you
be
came across Mike James' interview on this platform. Yeah, on the We Are Not the Same pod that's also under Player's Choice. But, I mean, he basically said it. And, I mean, for them to rip that flower up and try to plant it back into the ground, especially after what KD just did, and I don't know. I kind of feel him on Steve Nash, and I know you played against Steve Nash, so I'm not really asking for your take on whether he's a good coach or not. But I feel like they need somebody that the players will respect a lot more than Steve Nash.
Yeah, you might be right there. Like I said, I don't know what's going on up there in the locker room and things like that. You know, things going on in the locker room that the people don't know about. But just because you're a great player don't make necessarily mean you're going to be a good coach, bro. Coaching is a hard job, man, especially when you got guys like Steve Nash has got to coach with those guys. I mean,
Yeah.
And then you got some of these players. They got a couple players that got control. Can say things to the owner and things like that, and that has a lot of pull. So that makes the coaching job even harder. With the things KD has supposedly said today and to the owner, that just makes things worse up there. So I don't think, honestly, if I had to bet some money on it, I wouldn't say those three play together this year.
Okay. Have you ever seen another situation similar to this throughout your days?
No, not really. I mean, I played with some dudes that were in KD's category, but like, no, this never really happened back in my era. Like the free agency stuff, how crazy it is nowadays. It really didn't happen back when I played. It's like most of the teams when they try to sign their guy to an extension before they came up to be a free agent. So
Yeah.
really wasn't happening back then.
Okay. Yeah, so if I could ask, I don't want to ask a prediction. I want to ask, where would you like to see KD play if he was to go somewhere else?
Man, I mean, I'm a big LeBron fan. I'd love to see him and LeBron.
Ooh.
I would love that, but I live in Orlando, so that'd be my second choice. I'd like to, I'd go see the Magic games. That'd make it look there. Man, I don't know. I'm just such a big basketball fan. Wherever he went, I'd be a fan of. And wherever he goes, they're instant playoff contenders. I will say, obviously not championship contenders, but
keep in mind though, the list that he put out was all good teams. So KD has no interest, as far as we know, to go into a team that's not going to instantly compete.
Yeah, I don't blame him, bro. I mean, he's so far along in his career, and it ain't about no money and no rebuilding or anything like that. He just wants to win games, and I don't blame him.
Got you.
I wish they'd just get that shit together there in Brooklyn, because I think they'd be a good team and they'd be a fun team to watch.
Yeah, okay.
What's your thoughts on James and Joel?
What's that?
What's your thoughts on James Harden and Joel with the Sixers?
I mean, yeah, I think the Sixers are a good team too. Joel Embiid's a monster. Probably the best big man in the game right now, maybe. Arguably. That's who I'm taking, probably. But James Harden, I mean, if he plays like he did last year, I don't think they have a chance. I wish he would just go back to being that Houston James Harden, man, and just let everybody else get theirs how they get it. Again, though, I don't know if that's good enough to get him out of the East, because there's some good teams in the East. Good teams.
Yeah, the East is definitely going to be a shootout one way or another. It's almost to the point where I wish we could just fast forward to straight to the playoffs and just be like, what's who's going to come out, and just see the certain matchups of who's going to play against who. But that's also the beauty of the regular season, is speculating. Okay, so the Bucks are going to play the Heat, or the Hawks are going to play this team. But if they play, then who's going to win when they play in the next round? You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's fun, like speculating on who can possibly play each other and who's going to beat who.
Yeah, and a lot of fans think like if say the Clippers are fitting to play the Lakers, and they don't really want to play the Lakers, so they're going to lose 2 games to maybe go down a spot. I played 12, 13 years, and I ain't never, ever heard of any organization doing that, bro. And if I did, I'd be in some kind of trouble, because I wouldn't have no parts of that, bro.
Yeah.
We're not trying to lose nothing for nobody ever.
Hey, Jay Will, what was the worst team you played on? Because for the most part, you always played on good teams.
Yeah, man. We my Memphis team, my first year when I got to Memphis, we weren't very good.
Was OJ Mayo there?
OJ Mayo, no, he wasn't there yet.
Gotcha.
He came later. He came later on. But that year after we won the championship, we were terrible that year too, bro.
Yeah.
the night we received our ring, Chicago's beat us by 51, bro.
Hey.
Yeah, dang. Ooh.
Hold on, what was the aura in the locker room after you guys won that championship the following season? Like was there aspirations to run it back?
Well, I don't think so. Not right off the top, because there was a lot of people hurt. You know, I started on the injured list for like 20 games. I think Shaq was on the injured list for 15. Shoot, Zoe was out too. D Wade was hurt. Yeah, I don't think so. Not right off the top, no. And it didn't start well, so I don't think it got any better.
Yo, Jay, well, I gotta ask though, was that locker room like when you're in a locker room like that and you look around and the names that you just said, all those guys, is it just kind of like we know where like the shit?
Well, I mean, it was like we know we're supposed to be there at the end. You know, whether put it together and win at the time we need to put it together, that's a different question. Man, yeah, I walked in that locker room every day and looked at those name plaques, bro. I was like, man, I can't believe I'm on a team like this, bro. Like, man, all these dudes.
Yeah, that was undoubtedly a crazy team.
Dude, can I ask you a crazy question?
Of course.
So if you had to choose between D Wade and Kevin Durant,
man, that's a tough one there, man. I mean,
as a teammate, well, I mean, you played with D Wade, so I mean that kind of.
I mean, D Wade won me a championship, bro. So I mean, that goes a long way. But I can't pick one of those, bro. I can't answer that. I mean,
that's a tough one.
For sure is a tough one.
You know, as a point guard, I know what D Wade's got me. You know, I know what he's capable of doing, but I also know as a point guard that loves to pass the ball and see people score, me throwing the ball to Kevin Durant, that's like an assist dang near every time. You know what I mean? But man, D Wade, that's a bad dude, bro.
Like with JJ Redick, or is that a story for another day?
JJ Redick was a bad boy too. I don't think he gets enough credit. Hey, we got whenever you want, bro. We got stories on
I want to save that JJ Redick. I want to save that one.
I'm gonna tell you what, JJ Redick was a bad boy. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. A bad dude.
Jay, well, I'll never forget those runs you guys was making. Because obviously, you know, if you're a basketball fan, you remember watching JJ in college, and everybody does this. You watch him in college, he kills every team with Duke, and then he gets to the league, and it's kind of not the same. And people don't really understand how much of a transition that is. So then you kind of automatically start thinking, okay, JJ wasn't that good. I remember when you and JJ started teaming up, though. And all of a sudden, it was a different story. It's like Jay Will and JJ coming off this bench, lighting it up.
We did. We knew our role, bro. I think a lot of young kids don't realize how important it is to know your role, bro, on the team. You know, everybody can't score and things like that. But man, I'm telling you, JJ Redick, I think he struggled a little bit when he first got in the league because, you know, in college, these zone defenses and a lot of these defenses were easy to break. Whereas in the NBA, like these guys guarding him now are 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", and like, you know, if the ball, if I took one more dribble before I passed it to him, he ain't open now. In college, that shit was open, that shit was wet. But JJ Redick needs to get a little more props than I think he got in my eyes. Maybe he does in some people's eyes, but to me, I think he's a way better player than he gets credit for.
Yeah. Okay. Yo, so in light of the Mike James clip and him giving his top 5, do you want to try to give your top 5 and not go as viral as he went?
I can give my top 5, but I know once I name my 5th one, it's gonna be like, and y'all gonna say, well, what about Buddy? And I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, he could probably be there, but he's not gonna take off. But yeah, I guess I could give you my top 5 right now. I guess I could.
Yeah, no, for sure. And the thing about it is, and this is why I've said this is one of the. This is why I like this era so much, because it's arguably 8 players that can be top 3.
Yeah,
it's arguably 8 players, so it's like 3 players have to get left off.
And then I don't mean to cut you off, but then you're gonna think about a guy like Kawhi Leonard that ain't on that top 8 that could be healthy.
Kawhi's my 8th though, so you see now. So now it's 9, depending on who was in your 8.
That's right. My top 5. You want my top 5? No specific order.
You can, if you want to give us a specific order, you can do it. But probably cut yourself some slack and don't do it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna give you no order. I mean, Giannis is up there in the top 5. Steph Curry's in the top 5. Joel Embiid's in my top 5. LeBron James is in my top 5.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one more. Dang, I knew it was earlier. Kevin Durant probably is in my top 5.
Now, you leave out Jokic.
I know I'm a Jokic fan, but I think Jokic is like LeBron, but just not nowhere near as athletic. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think, and I don't think he can carry a team to the playoffs or through the playoffs like LeBron did back in LeBron's heyday.
Mm-hmm.
But that don't mean Jokic good. If I got stuck with Jokic, I'm riding. I'm okay.
Okay,
Shaq,
so
you got something to say?
Yeah, I got a few questions. I'm thinking Jokic not being top 5. I'm not too upset about that, only because like Jay Will said, it's the difference between ceiling raisers and floor raisers. But I think where I take it is, who do you have as a better passer, Jokic or LeBron?
You know, I'm gonna say LeBron, man. I'm gonna say LeBron. I'm thinking just because he's doing most of that stuff off the dribble. You know what I mean? He's I think a lot of time Jokic is passing that thing. But again, see, people are gonna listen to this and think Jay Will don't think Jokic can pass the ball. He's one of the best big man passers ever to play the game. But you know, if you ask me about LeBron, I'm a big LeBron guy, bro.
What about was Chris Webber a good passer?
Chris Webber was a great passer, but I think a lot of people think about them Sacramento teams when I played with them like I was the only passer out there doing that kind of stuff with the ball. But these other dudes was doing the same thing, bro. Just not as much, I don't think. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm out there looking to throw some of this where they ain't really looking to do that.
I don't know if I asked you this on one of the previous episodes, but where was your passing inspired by?
Growing up, bro, like going to the pickup games outdoors, bro. I couldn't really. I was so small. I was smaller than everybody, so I could never get my shot off. Not that I was a good shooter or anything, but I could never get the shot off because everybody would block it or something. Because I had to shoot it from down here. You know, I was small. I wasn't strong or anything. So.
At what age was you at this time?
Shoot, probably 8 or 9. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Trying to sling that thing. Yeah, I remember like in junior high, I shot the bitch so high. It used to hit the ropes that we used to climb up in gym class, hanging from the ceiling. That's how I had to shoot it. But anyway, that's why I had I got my pass on then, because that's the only way I could get on the floor. I mean, they didn't want me out there to score because one, like I said, I couldn't get my shot off, and two, I wasn't a good scorer. But they knew if I got out there, I'd find them. They let them shoot all the balls, and I think from an early age, that's when I learned, like, look, if I'm gonna be on the floor, I got to pass it.
Mm-hmm. You kind of learned the psychology of your teammates.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, youngsters need to know their role. That was my role. Get these boys to get the ball get them to the ball when they open.
Nah, got you. But as a passer, so it's a difference between like being able to pass and being a flashy passer. You know, is that something that came natural for you, or is that something like, oh, I know he's open, I'm gonna put a little razzle dazzle on it and throw it behind my head? Is that it, or is it just like it just naturally just happened in the flow of the game?
I think a little bit of both, bro. I think for sure sometimes sometimes I could just do something regular, but I'm like, look, I'm gonna do something crazy.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it just comes natural, bro. Like say I'm standing at the top of the key and the ball's getting reversed from the right to the left, and I catch it here and just easy behind the back. That's quicker than me catching it and throwing a chest pass.
Got you. AJ, Will, you know you got me benched for the second half of my season. We're in the park. I finally get the elbow pass off. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing that in the game this weekend.
That's right.
It didn't go as smooth in the game. So
for that one time that it went smooth for me, bro, there was probably 10,000 that it didn't go smooth. So don't worry. Don't worry about that.
Hey, I don't regret it though. I go back and do it again.
that coach didn't know what he was doing anyway, bro.
Facts.
No, I got to get back to Jokic though. I got to hear the difference between a Jokic and an Embiid based off of preference, or because when we look at Jokic, we see the stats. You know, we see where he's taking his team to with missing pieces. But I think it kind of stops there. But it's a lot of people that cape for Jokic and say he's either 1 or 2 in the league, or probably 2 behind Giannis. But why do you feel like he doesn't deserve to be top 5?
I mean, he ain't done nothing for me yet. I mean, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong, great player. He plays a lot of minutes. Plays more minutes, I bet, than all these other guys. Just my guess. I don't know him. He just don't look like he has that dog like Joel Embiid has it, right? I'm sure Jokic has it too, but when push comes to shove, you hoop. Is he really about that life, or is he not? Mm-hmm. I think Embiid is. Mm-hmm. I think Embiid is, but I don't know about Jokic. And it's just I just think Embiid's got more, but he just brings more. And if it boiled down to like we just nitpicking, I got to go with Embiid just because I think he's got that dog. And I'm not saying Jokic don't, but I ain't seen it.
Do you feel like having that dog is like a underrated stat? Because I see some people allude to it, and I see other people kind of downplay it. I for sure think it's a thing as far as having it, and I guess you got to kind of hoop to just kind of see it click and just be like, oh, that's different from everybody else. And I don't know, maybe they call it high motor guys, but I feel like dog a lot more comes with it than just a high motor. It's just kind of like that assassin mentality. So I mean, I would like you to tell the people that some people that are like, what's that dog? How can you explain that? Because you play with D Wade, and I think we all agree he has that dog, or maybe Shaq, he can cut it on at any given time, or many of players that you play with, probably even C-Web too. But can you allude to that?
The Dwight Howard too.
Cool. Hall of Famer. No, that dog, to me, as a teammate, I'd rather my teammates have that dog. I just think that makes me feel more confident as going into the game, thinking we can win that way. But then, like you said, that's a double-edged sword, because you got Tim Duncan, is not a dog at all and will kill you. You know what I mean? So if I got stuck with Tim Duncan and I know he's not a dog, am I going to be mad at that? How can you be mad at getting stuck with TD? But again, the dog, I don't want to say that I was a dog, but I felt like I went into the game as being a dog. I'm not going to get pushed around or anything. And I think my opponents and teammates, they knew that too. So yeah, just being a dog is different than not being a dog. I'd rather have dogs than not dogs.
Wait, who out of your opponents, who would you say talked the craziest, like throughout your career? Like one person that was just always talking spicy.
Was it somebody that you played with as well?
It was. It was either,
I knew it.
It was either GP or KG, bro. I mean, those guys talk. And KG's talking was just not like, wasn't directed at someone. It was just more like he's talking to himself. And if you acknowledge it, it was like, oh, okay, now it's on with him and you. But Gary Payton was like, he had me scared to death, bro, up there in Seattle that game, man. Like, I ain't never even met the guy, and he's talking like reckless to me all game, and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, damn, like I was really like kind of intimidated a little bit. Like, I didn't know nothing about this dude. I knew he was from Oakland, and I knew Oakland was about it. You know what I mean? And I didn't know what was going to happen. But at the end of the day, Gary Payton is one of the best dudes you could ever meet.
Yo, Jay Will, is this the first time like you guys played against him? Is this when you're playing with Shaq?
It is.
Is this the infamous game where you Hezzy crossover? Right. This is that game? Jay Will, bro. I'm from Seattle.
Oh, yeah? I'm
watching the game live.
Oh.
And it happens. They do the replay. I'm like, I don't know who this dude is, but Gary Payton don't get done like that on a nightly basis. So I'm like, automatically from then on, I'm locked in like, yo, who is this? Who's number 55?
What made it worse, it looked like he tried to trip me. I don't know.
Yeah.
That made it a lot worse than it really was. But people don't know, the time before that down, I shot one from like 35 feet and made it. So he had to come up a little bit. People don't know that. So, and back in those days, I was pretty quick. if you came up that far past the 3-point line, I'm probably gonna get around you. I don't care who's standing there. He was done. He had a better chance pissing in a hot sauce bottle.
And so did you get the better of him that day, or was it just kind of a couple plays?
Man, I'm gonna say I got the better that day because, like you said, that don't ever happen to the glove, bro. I don't even know if we won the game. I don't know how many I scored. I don't know how many assists I got, but that is as iconic, maybe more iconic to me than the elbow pass because that's Gary Payton, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, okay. Did you have any words for him after that?
No, bro. He was still, just smiling. You saw the video.
Yeah.
I wanted no parts of that, bro. I was shook up from the get go. I didn't want to know that. Yeah. But he ain't say nothing to me after that. Not one word.
Hey, you know that's how they say that's the best defense right there. Don't even talk back and just show what you about.
Yeah,
and,
that's all I could do. I wasn't about to say nothing to Buddy. No way.
Hey, so back to your top 5 though again. So it was Giannis, KD, LeBron, Embiid, and who was the 5th? Steph. That's a bad top 5.
My top 5 might have changed by now since then, bro.
That's really how it is right now. But let's just say that's your top 5, right? And let's say that's a lineup right there.
Okay.
How do you think that top 5 stacks up against other eras' top 5s?
I think it's tough, man, because it's the style of play nowadays and back in the when I played and before that. Mm-hmm. And plus these guys can shoot 3-pointers so much and they shoot it at a high clip that they're probably going to win more games if you shoot more 3-pointers than we do. These guys are shooting more 3-pointers than teams shoot 2-pointers back in the day.
No, so, for real.
That's hard to do, but again, I we'll never see it. I'd like to see it. Like nobody's going to be able to guard Shaq in today's game. Nobody. But Shaq will struggle guarding these guys out on the perimeter. So it's hard to say.
Just to give a concrete example, for instance, let's just say this 5: Steph, KD, Bron, Giannis, and Joel versus the Dream Team. Magic, Jordan, Larry, Charles, and Patrick Ewing. If you, J. Will, you gotta bet half your money on one team.
I'm gonna bet the other half on the other guy, damn. Bro, again, it's like, what rules we gonna play? We're gonna have that illegal defense. They're gonna be able to play zone.
You know what? I'm gonna say it's not even no refs. It's open gym.
Oh, open gym.
We just hooping.
Well, we gotta go with them old heads because them boys gonna call a call and they gotta get it. They gotta get. I don't care if they call foul. They gotta get the ball. That's them boys there before the young ones. But I don't know. I think if they play serious ball, like serious, I think they would split it, man. And I think, man.
Yeah, no, that's a tough one.
That is. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, like, that's another tough question to say who's going to win. I don't know who would win that game. I think they would take turns winning. How about that?
Yeah, I just know in another lifetime I need to see that.
Oh, I'd love to see. Just like put Oscar Robertson up against Russell Westbrook. That's not a fair fight, right?
I don't believe so.
But Oscar Robertson was a dude back in the day.
I agree.
So hold on, when you said it wasn't a fair fight, you were more so saying Russ can outdo Oscar.
I think so.
I was gonna go the other way, but I don't know if you too much watch our podcast. I'm more so of a historian type of guy, so I tend to side with the older dudes.
But that's you love cool. Russ too, though.
But I mean, major Russ guy.
You're not alone siding with the older dudes. I just think, just bigger, faster, stronger nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
not taking away. Well, Oscar Robertson was the biggest, fastest, strongest dude back in that day too. You know what I mean? But I just think these dudes are too fast, man, and too athletic nowadays.
Do any players ever reach out to you?
Like, what do you mean by that? Like ex-players?
I'm sure ex-players do. But I mean, I feel like your passing is so unique and one of a kind. Like no current players when they were coming up either pay homage or just was just like any tips that you can give me.
No, not really, not really, man. Although I would love, like, it's funny you say that because I've been looking for something to do with my life, bro. In the last couple of months, I'm so bored. Like I'd love to get into some coaching or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Something, you know what I mean? But I don't. I'd rather do mess with men. You know what I mean? I don't really want to mess with. I don't want to babysit. I don't want. I don't
Yeah,
want you
yeah.
to come and drop your kid off to look. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I want guys that want to play, but I don't know, bro.
I was going to ask you that earlier when we kind of got to talking about Steve Nash and how you was saying that just because you're a good player doesn't necessarily make you a good coach. How do you feel you would fare in that realm? Because a lot of people see you and they see, oh, he's a skilled player, he's a flashy player, but a lot of people don't know how cerebral you really were when it came to the game of basketball. And so,
Uh,
how do you feel you would mesh with with coaching? I guess older players, let's say a college team.
I think that would all depend on how much responsibility I had with
Mm-hmm.
that gig. I mean, like, to me, when you say if I were going to be a coach, I would rather be the kind of coach that's just like, when a cat comes out of the game, just come and sit down on the bench and let me holler at you instead of the coach just cussing at you right away and yelling and things like that. Like, I'm the type of dude to be like, what did you see there? Like, if you threw something crazy, whatever, what did you see? Because I want to
Mm-hmm.
know, what you saw might be right just because it didn't happen the way you
Yeah.
wanted it to, wrong all the way, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I
Like,
just be
like if somebody was to throw an elbow pass, for
yeah,
instance, and yeah,
like
got
think,
you.
yeah. But I don't think there's enough vets in the league nowadays for these young dudes to just lean on. You know what I mean? Asking
Mm-hmm.
questions like real shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
dang, people's been in that situation type things. I think some of these young dudes would be good with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that actually has been crazy how the league is kind of just went younger with being able to, with basically just going with these one and done guys and then just basically signing them and just banking on the future and kind of just writing the old guys off. Because a lot of times dudes retire at 33, 32, and really they still kind of in their prime.
Yeah, that's
But
what I'm saying. It's cheaper for these organizations to get these young dudes, put
Mhm.
them on two ways and things like that. So
Do you feel like
that
that's a
that'd be.
problem? Do you feel like it messed up the league as far as it being a
I,
monopoly?
I think so. I think it's a lot different than when I played. I don't want to say it's messed up because the NBA is a
Business,
awesome
yeah.
business. You know what I mean? And they're doing things the right way. But I just think with all this free agency and things, it's just different, man. But it has to be different because every times it's changing, bro. That's just how it is.
Hey, so who are your vets when you came into the league?
Man, I had Vernon Maxwell. I had
Oh,
C.
oh.
Webb and Vladi and Scott Pollard was a vet out there. Derek Martin. Terry DeHare was out there. Remember Terry DeHare from Seton Hall? How old
Yeah,
are you?
yeah. I was 8,
Yeah,
8 or 9.
young dude. Yeah, so uh, I had some good ones, man. But it was my rookie year was the lockout year, so that thing was fast. The vets
Mm.
didn't really have much to say.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like,
Do you have any crazy stories of maybe a mistake you made your rookie year and just like how your vet basically broke down to you, like, why you probably shouldn't have did that or anything of that nature?
no, not really, because like I said, that lockout year, we were playing
Hmm.
back to back to back, and then getting on a plane and gone. So we didn't really have no practice time or nothing like that. And
Yeah.
on our free time, we was getting down doing what we do. So it was
Hmm.
just no. I wish I would have though. I wish I
Yeah.
would have. Not to say that I would have listened or anything like that, but I wish I would have though. And we didn't really have no backup point guard to take my minutes away. So it was really
Yeah. Just learning on the fly.
doing what I wanted to do pretty much.
So Jay Will, and this is kind of switching up topics. I have two questions, and my first one is just any comments on Allen Iverson in the career or the player that he was. Was it a crazy wow factor there?
Man, Allen Iverson, I think he's misunderstood a little bit too, bro. I mean, I think if you look deeper in it, I read it. I've probably read 5, 6 books my whole life, bro. I'm 46. You know, that ain't nothing to be proud of, but I don't really like reading. But I read Allen Iverson's book, bro, and his life, man. I don't know if you read that book, but man, what a life he lived, bro. And to make it to where he made it to, and to go through the stuff that he went through is amazing. You should check that book out. As a player, bro, one of the toughest players I had to guard, you know, and the only thing that I was thinking about when I was matched up with him was just like, I'm not letting dude get by me. I don't care if I got to back up like they guard Rondo now. You know, I'll back up that far and just hope he shot it and missed it. If he made it, oh well, the coach can't really say nothing. Let's go.
Yeah, so I don't know, I don't feel like a lot of people give AI the credit that he deserves. And I know we've been talking about killer mentalities and stuff like that. Playing against them, how was that? Like, was you able to like really detect that, or is this something you just already knew going into it, just based on just who he was?
Both, man. I mean, you already knew it, but then like when the game started, it's like you felt that shit, man. Like
Hmm.
you knew what time it was when he was on the floor, and like all these game plans that we have before the game. You know, we're gonna force this guy this way or force that guy that way. That you know, we had all that shit for AI, but once the game started, that shit's out the window.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
Buddy's getting wherever he wants to get to on the
Hmm.
floor, and you know, you just got to try to keep people out of foul trouble is what you got to do.
All
Yeah,
right.
man.
All right, Ron. No, Ron. Got to take the gloves off. So Ron's a huge Jordan guy.
Okay.
J Will, I like to think as a Bron guy.
Look, Jordan, this Jordan golf course right here. I ain't gonna get it twisted.
Hmm.
Pro 23, both
Hmm.
sound. Yeah.
Amazing hat.
Yeah.
um, I mean, I feel like it's kind of stacked against you, J Will, with the stats, the accolades, all of that stuff. That's going up against Bron, you know, especially with Jordan heads. How do you feel about how do you feel like it's close between Jordan and Bron, and who do you have number one?
For sure, as close as it can be between anybody, I think, you know. And man, I'm picking LeBron, bro. I mean, I'm never going to change. I'm not going to change that. And like, I'm not a big stat guy. I'm not. I mean, I think it matters a little bit, but I just look at you as a player, bro. Like, you know, I look at you, Shaq. I watch your highlights. You can freaking hoop. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't really look at championships, rings like that, you know, because Jordan don't get those rings without Pippen. Pippen don't get the rings without Jordan. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it takes a team, and I just think personally, I think LeBron could do more as a basketball player, like handle the ball, pass the ball, you know, just like stuff like that. But that's not to say Jordan couldn't do some things better than LeBron could too. But I just think LeBron could do more things better. Even if it's just one more thing, I think LeBron could do that. And I think LeBron's more of a team guy. You know, Jordan. That doesn't say Jordan ain't gonna go out and get you a win for the team. He gonna get that win, but when push comes to shove, you know, Bron receives a lot of slack for not taking the last shot. Well, shit, he's got three guys on him. It's a guy open over there. That's what basketball is, and that's the way I look at basketball. Whereas Jordan, if he had three guys on him, yeah, he's gonna jump up and still score the ball. That's what Jordan does. But to me, as a fan, looking at those two dudes, I like the way LeBron plays the game, you know, as a team guy more so than MJ did. But if I need a win tonight or I need a bucket right now, I'm probably taking MJ. But as a player, I'm taking LeBron.
So you felt like this for a while then, like even early on in LeBron's career before you thought that he was gonna be a better player or thought he was a better player than Jordan. Because
And
with you saying accolades and stats don't matter.
I mean, I don't want you to. I don't want them to get it twisted like they don't matter because they do. I mean, but I
Hmm.
mean, guys got all the accolades in the world, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just because one's got a couple more rings or whatever it is, they're still on the same pedestal over there. You know what I
No,
mean?
definitely, without a doubt.
Right. So no, I didn't think LeBron would be that good like his first couple of years. I didn't because I just thought he was just long and lanky, and I didn't think he was as cerebral as he was.
Hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that dude could put the scouting report out on the night before. He could coach the team. You know, I just think he's that cerebral about the game. Um, but again, man, if I got stuck with MJ, bro, I'm all right with that too.
Nah, definitely. LeBron, like in terms of just his mentality and his mentals on the court,
Yeah.
and obviously we know what his athleticism's like. Like LeBron's not really fair. Like you would think LeBron got made in the factory and just got put out there because
That's
it's
right.
like for a dude to be that big, that fast, that strong, that skilled, and then be that smart too.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do with them?
You don't. You just hope he misses and hope his teammates don't show up for him when they need to show up. That's all you can do, bro. And the same
Well,
for him too, though. You know, you just hope Steve Kerr misses that shot when he decides to pass that thing to him. You know, it's
yeah,
like, I mean, don't get it twisted. MJ has some guys on his team now too. Has some guys.
undoubtedly, both three-peats.
Yeah, some bad boys, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
like people don't give that big three-headed monster, them white boys, Winnington, Purdue, and Longley, their credit, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take them three on my team any day of the week, bro. Any day of the week.
I know a lot about Longley. Tell me a little bit about Winnington though. What you like about him?
Winnington, man, he gonna pick, he gonna pop, he gonna knock down the little 15-footer.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna be there defensively when you get beat. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be there all. He never gonna be late for the bus. He
Yeah.
never gonna be there. He gonna be there, bro.
A lot of people don't factor that in though. It's a lot more that goes into it than just what you actually see. People don't factor in dudes that have the mentality to come out and want to rebound and set screens all game.
Right. That's what I try to tell these young cats now. They like the cat Steven Adams, Rudy
Mhm.
Gobert. They're kind of the similar players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Them dudes getting hundreds of millions just to rebound and set screens, bro. So why wouldn't you just go out there and be the best screener, the best rebounder that you could be, bro? They got plenty of money for that, man. Everybody can't score the ball. And plus, if you the guy scoring the ball, you got all the pressure on you. You the one reason we lose every time, right?
Nah, definitely. Hey, Jay Will, so you still hoop? I remember a couple years back. It's been a little bit of time. You was playing in the Orlando Pro-Am. You still get down a little bit?
I haven't hooped for a minute, man, but I got this gig coming up. Let y'all know about it in a couple of days. I'm going out to LA playing this 2v2 thing, so I gotta get right somehow.
What's a couple of days? Like you got some time, or is it kind of to the point where you got to freestyle it now?
I gotta freestyle it now, you know. I don't really know too much about it right now, or I'll
Yeah.
tell you. I just
Okay.
know it's on the 27th of August. I know that, but
Oh, you still got a little bit of time.
that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna get a couple jumping jacks in, a couple planks. I'll be straight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's dope. So you just about to go out there. You feel like the game never leaves you as far as like you going out there and just hooping?
It's a game to 21, bro. 2s and 1s, indoors. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna play pick and roll all day. It's gonna be the boringest 2-on-2 game ever.
Hold on, did your partner play in the league?
My partner it's gonna be an influencer.
Okay.
I don't know which one yet.
Got you.
I don't know.
So you just hoping maybe he got a little bit of height and can roll and maybe finish.
Yeah, I like for him to have some bounce too. Just throw it up there. Or you know what? I'd rather my teammate be able to get a bucket at any point because I don't want to lose the game.
Yeah.
But I don't even know who we're gonna play against. You know, they might put me up against somebody that I ain't got no chance. But I'm gonna try. I'll tell you that right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I hear that. Jay Will, in closing, how'd you get your nickname? White Chocolate.
Man, I tell you, it was a girl out in Sacramento in the PR department gave me that nickname. She should have copyrighted the joint, and she didn't. I should have copyrighted the joint, and I didn't. But anyway, here we are setting the day. You know, in today's society, that nickname probably wouldn't fly with a lot of people. You know what I mean? They probably, you know what I'm saying? That's a whole different show. We can talk about crazy stuff like that.
Okay. And still to this day, people will walk up to you and call you White Chocolate?
For sure, man. That's like more so than J Will. You know, if they hit me with a J Will, I'm like, who? You know what I'm saying? like you look just like Buddy. I'm like, I know, I get that all the time, man. And then when they hear me talk, it's over.
Yeah.
And God can't hide that. Can't hide it.
Definitely. Well, I mean, Jay Will, his first episode has been a pleasure. We just grazed the surface of stuff. We ain't even really got into anything. This was just kind of like, introduction to what things could be.
Right.
Yeah,
But
well, I got somebody for you.
An influencer.
No, it would only be Dale, and I know you're familiar with Dale, but I got somebody else for you. I got the ultimate Jordan guy, and he's saying he wants to talk to you. Not today.
Oh.
Just sometime in the near future.
Of course, I'd love to talk with him.
He said he said he got a few questions for you.
I got a few answers for buddy.
Jay Will, he gonna have some rebuttals to your answers too.
Well, I'm gonna have some rebuttals to his rebuttals.
Do you want to know his name?
Oh, man.
They call him
LeBron
Ticket.
James.
No,
Huh?
they call him Ticket. They call the guy Ticket. He's a big YouTube guy, and he's the ultimate Jordan fan. And I don't know. He said he waiting. So.
Well, I mean, there can't be a question that I've heard about MJ that he has that I haven't heard already.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm sure of it.
I mean, all these MJ guys just say 6 rings, and I mean, to those kind of guys that I argue with, there's nothing really else I can say once they say that, bro. So I say, you got it, bro. I mean, so I can't argue that, right?
Mm-hmm.
All I can argue is just what LeBron can do and what MJ could do.
Nah, no doubt.
Yeah, so and MJ's my guy, bro. When I go down to this golf course and I see him, I'm like, dang, that's MJ, man. God, I mean, pretty much starstruck with MJ every time I see him, but I mean, it's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Hey, that's MJ.
Bro,
That's
that's right. That's MJ, that's right. And the address to the golf course is 2323. How about that?
That's fire.
Yeah, Black Cat Way. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you don't even understand, bro. And the whole side of the clubhouse is the elephant print, bro.
Mm.
Is that invite only?
There's only like 100 dudes there, bro.
All hoopers or just like any
Nah, not really hoopers, but yeah,
people?
yeah, some names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's sweet though. It's sweet though.
It's a tough course.
They all tough to me, dog. They all tough to me.
Got you. Oh man.
Oh man. That's funny. Hold on. How many holes is on Black Cat Way? That's fire.
18, man. It's 2323 Black Cat Way, bro. It's like you go in there, bro. It's like these big ass Black Panther statues, bro, with glow in the dark eyes, man.
That's crazy.
He got this drone, bro. That, like, if you're out on the golf course and you need some drinks or whatever, a drone will fly the drinks out to you, bro.
That's wild,
bro. Yeah, it's like nothing you've ever seen.
Mm.
Wow.
I can't explain it, man. MJ.
And you got to know a friend to know a friend. You got to.
One of my buddies is a member there.
Got you.
So we can, as long as you're with a member, you can go down.
Now one of my buddies is a member there, so I guess we're gonna see you down.
There we go. Yeah. Come on.
Yo, Jay Will, we gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. But before we do that, I'm gonna just give you the floor to if you got anything you want to say, or if you got any other stories you might want to tell, or if you got something that you might want to promote. It's your opportunity to go ahead and do so.
I ain't really got nothing to promote but this show, man. Let's do the Player's Choice, man. Y'all need to tap into that and see what we're gonna get popping in the future. I don't really want to tell no more stories. I mean, I got a ton of stories, but we're gonna, like you said, we just eased into it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get into it later on. Let's see what's happening.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shaq, you got something to say on the way out?
I'm good, man. I'm good. See y'all soon.
Yes, sir. Well, to everybody that tapped in, we appreciate y'all. Like I said, we just warming up. We still in layup lines right now, so we gonna tip the ball and really get this thing going real soon. I appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be here at a next occasion. See you guys soon.